Hi there, my name's Charlotte. It's a pleasure to meet you. So I'm going to be teaching you some things about how to be a makeup artist today. As you can see, I have quite a bit of makeup here. I've got some diagrams of sorts to show you. I do have to tell you, I do focus mainly on eye makeup and sort of theatrical makeup more than I focus on the face, but I do know a few things about facial makeup, so I can help you with that a little bit. Let's get started. First I'll just start off right at the basics. Do this little diagram for you. These are the basic makeup essentials. You should have a black or black brown mascara, a liquid and a pencil eyeliner, usually in black, concealer, which I actually, believe it or not, do not have one. I have a foundation of sorts, but I use it as a concealer because I don't like a lot of foundation. Next you should have a red or peach lipstick, peachy pink colored. I normally don't wear lipstick personally. Like I said, I focus mainly on the eyes, but sometimes I do. Usually it's red, just because I happen to like red lipstick. These two are really important for me. You really don't need them if you're not really that into makeup, but a lot of people, when they want you to do their makeup, will ask for either one of these. You should have a colourful palette and a neutral smoky palette. Notice that the neutral smoky palette has a lot more colours in it, because you really only need a few standard colours, like the colours of the rainbow, and then a lot of neutral and smoky colours, especially because there's a wide range of skin tones that you might need to use, so have to pay attention to that. And the last thing is good brushes. I know this might seem a little silly, but the best makeup that you can do is if you have your best makeup brushes. I'm going to just show you an example of a couple of makeup brushes that I personally have. I have this makeup kit, brush kit that is, and it looks a bit like a tool belt. Notice there's a lot missing in this. I use most of them, so they're in my personal case. These are my brushes. I have a couple of them out here. I'm going to show you some of them. I have a fan brush. This is good for contouring. Big fluffy powder brush. It's very soft. It's fun to play with. I have a couple of eyeshadow brushes of a sort, but they're all different. Try and find all of them. Alright, so I've got some paddle style brushes that are great for packing on colour. I'll explain to you a little bit more about the brushes later. Angled fluffy brush, another angled fluffy brush, a bit bigger. What is this? Oh, a lip brush. Two different angled eyeliner brushes. Like I said, these are just a few of the things in my toolkit, essentially. Okay, so what should we move on to next? I suppose I'll show you the contour chart. This is mostly where you would highlight, where you would do your blush, bronzer, or contour color. I'll be honest, a lot of this I took off of how drag queens do their makeup. Theirs is very exaggerated because they have to exaggerate their feminine features that they may have or add to them if they're masculine. But usually it's the same process, just less exaggerated, less makeup. So here is my contour chart. And you do highlights here, Cupid's bow, down the bridge of your nose, center of your forehead, your cheekbones, and then your brow bone. And then you do your blush right beneath your highlighter or slightly over top of it, and then your bronzer beneath your cheekbone, and bronzer at your temples. And I also like to do it along my jawline, but I think that's just because I have a very weak jawline. So that's just a personal favorite of mine. see, what can I show you next? I'll show you a couple of different foundation things, so to speak. Not necessarily techniques, but different things that you can do for your foundation. Like I said, I don't have a concealer. I personally don't use much face makeup. I don't use much on my face. I don't use any for under eye circles because I'm one of those unfortunate people who don't really get them. And if I do get them, I don't really notice them. I don't really bother with them. But I do have a cream foundation from Ben Nye. As you can see, I'm running a bit low, but I use that for small blemishes, sometimes redness around my nose, things like that. I don't really use it a lot, just when I feel that there's something I really need to cover up, or if I'm going out and I want to look nice. Usually over top of that, I apply a powder foundation. Just this CoverGirl foundation. Very pale, as you can see. Most people, when they ask you to do their makeup, they will tell you their preference. You can always suggest things, ask if they would like under eye concealer, what they are trying to hide, if they need any makeup over top, if they just want that perfect flawless skin. There's also the option of liquid versus powder versus airbrushed. There's many different varieties of different kinds of makeup that you can do. I find that most people, if they are getting the makeup done, will ask for some sort of foundation because chances are they're going out somewhere nice, and they're going to want to look their absolute best. Okay, let me see. I don't actually have a bronzer. I don't really use one often, but if I do, I don't have a specific kind of bronzer. I usually just use some form of a brown eyeshadow. Today I'm wearing this brown one in this Sephora palette, Brazilian Sea. I just personally like wearing that one myself. Sometimes I use a L'Oreal or Revlon, something like that. I forget the brand. And it's a lot more pigmented, so I have to be a little more careful that I don't go overboard, but it usually works for me. Let's see now, what else can I show you? I'm trying to hold off a bit on the eye makeup so far. I'm trying to get down the things that I'm not too sure on myself yet. Or rather that I'm not an expert in them. Like I said, I'm only focused on the eyes. So you can see I have quite a bit of eyeshadows to show you, and eyeliners and mascaras and stuff like that. I suppose I can show you lips. There really isn't much about lips that I can show you. This is the best that I can do. And this is just a little chart that I made on how to have perfect lips. The very simple instructions. First, you will outline your lips in a color corresponding to your lipstick or lip gloss. Fill in your lips with the lip liner. Apply the lipstick or lip gloss, and if it's a matte lipstick, even a cream lipstick, might want to apply a lip balm beneath it, so it's not very drying. And then the last thing you do really isn't technically on your lips. You just highlight your cupid's bow, which is right here. Perhaps that's something I should go over. I'm sure that you're well aware of the different areas of your face, eyes, ears, nose, etc. But maybe we should go over the fine details of your face. So I'm just going to use yours as an example, if you don't mind. So of course we have your two eyes, but on your eyes we have your lid, your brow bone, lash line, lower lash line, and your inner corner, your tear duct. There's also underneath your eyes. And then of course we have your brows, which you have very nice brows, by the way. Bridge of your nose, nostrils. I'm not sure that there's actually a name for what's right here, but that area around your nose. Your not epicanthal folds, your nasolabial crease, which is this. Your, oh, what's that called? This thing. not your cupid's bow, but whatever that's called, your chin. Some people have a cleft in their chin. I do happen to hate it, but some people might want to highlight that, exaggerate that, etc. Can I take your head for a moment? Jawline, which, as I said, I like to contour mine. Cheeks, cheekbone, which usually your cheekbone is somewhat along this line. Usually when you do your bronzer, you're supposed to go from about your ear and kind of angle it towards the corner of your mouth. Not going all that way, but just aiming in that direction. Your temples, forehead, and that's about it for your face, including your lips, of course. So that's just the general shape of, general structure of your face and the different parts of it. So if I use any of these terms, some of them might have been unfamiliar to you, not really sure. Any of those, nasal labia, yeah, no, not many people know what that is. It's these things when you smile. Oh, and I did forget one thing. Dimples, some people might like to highlight theirs, not highlight them, but bring attention to them. I personally have one. Some people have two, some people have none. Some might want to make it seem as though they have them, although it will only work if they're smiling. So if they're not a very smiley person, they won't be able to do it. So that is all that I have for face and lips. Covered basic makeup essentials. Oh, this reminded me. No matter what you do and what kind of makeup you're doing, you should always have some form of a makeup remover and some form of cotton pads. Any makeup store that you will go into, they'll usually let you sample makeup, swatch it on your hand, which I'm going to show you how to do that. They usually have a thing of makeup remover and a thing of alcohol and cotton pads, and you just pump it and you can wipe it all off. I personally have a very cheap eye makeup remover just because it works very well for me. I just go to the Walgreens. There's a lot of things that you'd be surprised you can just get at any really drugstore, general store, things like Walmart and Target and stuff like that. Publix, anything. Let's see, what else? I guess I could move on to the different kinds of eyeshadow that you can do. So let me start with eye colors. I did this cute little drawing, which I'm actually very proud of. And this is different makeup for different eye colors. We have brown eyes, blue eyes, green eyes, and hazel eyes. I did not include grey eyes because they're extremely uncommon. If somebody does have a particular eye color that is a little different, if they're grey eyes, I would say if they lean more towards the bluish grey, do blue colors. Colors for blue eyes. If they lean more towards grey, do more green. If they lean more towards green, do more green colors. And if they have something like purple eyes, which are extremely uncommon, but it has happened before, you can do something leaning towards the purple area, unless they're more of a brownish color. But when in doubt, go with something purple for any eye color, because purples work for literally any eye color. It just depends on the different shades. If they're looking for something that will complement them, you will want to take into consideration the hair color, skin tone, skin condition, in the sense of if they have oily skin, acne prone skin, dry skin, all of these different things come into account. You're also going to have to think about their eye shape. A lot of women from Asia have, I think they're called monolids. So their eye shape is going to be very different from someone who is Caucasian, African American, something along those lines. Some people have more hooded eyes. Some people, their eyes will be really, really big and really open. There's a lot of differences when it comes to eye shapes. So now that we've covered that, let me pull this back out. And I'll just read this to you. And I'll show you some descriptions. For brown eyes, the best colors for brown eyes are coppers and golds, blues, purples, and yellow greens. Brown eyes are the most versatile for makeup. They look best with neutral colors a lot of the time, just because they're generally in the brown range. And as you can see, this brown eye that I drew has some green and some brown with, I believe, yes, a blue liner, navy blue liner. Next, the blue eyes. Blue eyes look best with orange colors and rusty reds, neutral browns, purples, again, and bronze colors. As you can see, I drew this with a orangey lid, a bronzy neutral brown crease, and some purple eyeliner, some purple smudge along the lower lash line. Most of these I did not do a black eyeliner because a lot of people say that it's too harsh. Personally, I can't leave the house without some black eyeliner on, but that's just me. Blue-eyed people shouldn't wear blue eyeshadow because it will distract from the natural beauty of their eyes. Because the first thing you'll see is the eyeshadow. You won't see the color of their eyes, and it can kind of grey out your eyes. Generally, unless you have brown eyes, you should stay away from colors that are the same color as your eyes because it will neutralize your eye color, and you won't be able to really tell what color your eyes are anymore. Clearly I didn't follow that example today because I'm wearing green eyeshadow and I have green eyes. Speaking of which, move on to green eyes, which is right here. And green eyes look best with silvers and greys, purples, dark browns, and taupes. Depending on the undertones in your eyes, green eyes can look good in silvery cool colors or coppery warm colors. And for this one, I did purple on the lid with a smoky grey and black eyeliner. Now I do have to admit, I did cater this more to what I would like, but as you can see looking at the drawing, the purple really makes the green pop. Lastly is Hazel Eyes, which is a complicated color. It's kind of a mix of green and brown with a bit of gold thrown in. It can really be any color that just doesn't classify as a color. They look best because it's such a combination color. It can be hard to pinpoint the specific colors that you should use for Hazel Eyes, but generally they look best with browns, golds, warm greens, and an eggplant purple color. And they can be worn with pretty much any eyeshadow, seeing as the shade vastly ranges. So those are the different eye colors and the corresponding colors for those. And I'm going to be showing you a couple of eyeshadows. I have this BH Cosmetics palette, and let me just clear off a bit of space. I've got brushes all over the place. If you look down for me. Alright, so tilt my mirror out of the way. This is a palette that I have that I just recently got. It comes with 16 eyeshadows and 4 blushes. Now some of these are labeled as bronzers, but I don't really think that some of them can be worn as bronzers. These two in particular I think were made to be bronzers, but I would use this one as a blush. And this one I'd honestly use more as a highlight, even for someone as light as I am, because it's not a very pigmented colour. While I have this out, I think I could show you how to swatch makeup. Some people might want you to show what a certain colour looks like. If I could just find my primer, I could show you. Oh, I knew I was forgetting something. I forgot to tell you about eyeshadow primers. Excuse me while I look. I wonder where that got off to. Oh, here we are. I have yet again another drugstore product. This is a Wet n Wild eyeshadow primer. And I'm just going to show you how I would swatch some eyeshadows. So I would put some on my hand. A little bit more than I would put on my eyes. I wouldn't normally put that much on my eyes. Just blend it out all over my hand. And as you can see, it does blend into your skin tone. I know that it is a light colour, so you don't have to worry about varying skin tones with this. I'll just let that set for a moment. Now, I have done swatches of this particular palette before, and to be honest, the shadows are not pigmented on their own. They, in my opinion, they are, but I wear all of my makeup over top of a type of cream base, generally white or a very light colour. I use this Ben Nye one. So for me, these eyeshadows work fine as long as I would use some type of a light coloured base to go and I'm going to apply that to my hand. And this is a slightly sticky base for the eyeshadows to cling to. So you will also get less fallout, which if you don't know what that is when your eyeshadow falls onto your cheeks. Sometimes if you wipe at your face, you can get it all over and it's a huge mess. Now, most people will probably ask you to swatch it with your hand, but I found that swatching with brushes works a lot better. I'll show you two different techniques. I think I'll swatch this colour, this green colour here. Yeah, you can see it on my finger, but if I apply it to my hand, you can see it better. Now there's the colour there. It's a very bright, vivid acid green. It's almost bordering on yellow. And then I'm going to take this BH Cosmetics palette, or not palette, eye brush set. I'm going to take this one here, which is a nice fluffy rounded brush. It's very dense, however, so it'll hold on to a lot of eyeshadow. I'm going to take that green colour again, and I'll swatch it next to the first one. And see, that was a lot better. It's a lot thicker, more pigmented, and it's not quite as messy. And it's a lot easier than cleaning off your fingers. You just have to wipe it on a towel or something, and it's nice and clean. And I'm going to do that now. So there's one of the colours. I'm going to swatch all of these on my arm for you to see. I'm not going to bother using a base because I don't want to waste it. But I'll start with the yellow. I'll swatch it here. You know, I will use a bit of the white base. I'll just rub that on my arm. Do the yellow. Turquoise. It's kind of an aqua colour. Dark blue. Which isn't really that dark, unfortunately. It seems a lot darker. Let me clean out the brush. In the pot, which is what these are called, than it is on your skin. Now this palette is great for beginners in my opinion because it has a lot of nice neutral colours, but it also has a lot of really bright fun colours, so you can really mess around and see what fun you can have with makeup. See, that's one whole side done. If I can just have you close up. There's the yellow, turquoise, blue, green, tan, brown, vanilla, and kind of a gold copper colour. They are very pigmented. Even on their own, they're still very nice, but I prefer using them over the base. I'm not going to show you the other side except for this colour here, which I actually have on my eyes. I'm actually going to swatch that one. I'm going to use the fluffier side of this. These are double-sided brushes, so they're really great for travelling. This is probably the best colour in this whole palette. It's a very, very soft and very pigmented matte colour, which is rare for mattes. Mattes are usually the most patchy, they're not the softest. And there it is right there. And it's just a lovely colour, I really like it. Then I have these blushes here, which we have this corally coloured blush. I'm just going to use my fingers for this. We have this coral coloured blush, a very rich, autumny, kind of a peachy copper colour. I think it's supposed to be used as a bronzer, as I said before, but I personally like using it as a blush. And we have this really lovely white gold highlighter. And then, as I said, this is supposed to be a bronzer, but it's so light. It's a lot darker in the pan than it is on your skin. This would just blend straight into my skin and you won't even be able to tell that it's there. Can't see a thing. Whereas with the highlighter, kind of gives your skin a nice little glow. And then I love the glow that this colour gives you. This one. I'm actually wearing that today. And then the coral colour is just a nice classic blush colour. Works best for pretty much any skin tone. So I'm going to close that now. A word about the cream bases. As you can see, it's a bit wet looking, and the reason for this is because it's sweating. It's been very hot lately, and you might want to, I know this will seem a silly idea, but you might want to keep your cream bases and things like a liquid foundation in a pot like this by Ben Nye. You might want to keep them in a cool area so that they don't melt. You might want to do this with stick concealers, any sort of eyeliners, pencil eyeshadows, eyeshadow sticks that is. Anything like that. You just don't want it to melt and get all over the place, and then it's unusable, and then you are very sad. What else can I show you? I've shown you some eyeshadows. Oh, I can show you eyeliners. Personally, my favorite kind of eyeliner is liquid eyeliner. I have yet another thing from BH Cosmetics. This is a felt tip eyeliner. It's very similar to a marker, and it's just so perfect for doing any sort of eyeliner. You can do thick lines, you can do thin lines, you can do really thick lines if you're into that. I personally like the thinnest line possible with a nice little wing on the end. But it's got great control. It's perfect for beginners. Very easy to use, as opposed to something like, where on earth is it? Here we are. This NYC liquid eyeliner, which is a brush. And while I find that a lot of brush eyeliners are a lot more pigmented, they're a lot darker, especially with blacks, I feel that they're not as easy to use, they're more prone to messing up. They can be a bit loopy and get all over the place, and they have a harder time drying. This is actually an old bottle, an old tube, so it's not looking quite that great, but here's the BH Cosmetics, and here is the NYC liquid eyeliner. So those are two different kinds of liquid eyeliner. I also do have an eyeliner by MAC that you might actually have heard of if you're into makeup at all. It's called Black Track, and it's a gel eyeliner. I'm going to swatch this on my hand as well. I use the BH angled brush. I'm just going to lightly dip my brush in this. It's very soft, so you don't need a lot of pressure. So there's the gel eyeliner. Supposedly Black Track is supposed to be the blackest gel eyeliner you can find, but personally I find it rather lackluster. It's definitely not very pigmented. It's very sheer in my opinion. Kind of patchy, it doesn't go on very well, and especially when you're using something like an angled eyeliner brush, it can be a little bit hard to work with. So I don't really recommend a gel eyeliner for first timers, unless you're very good at drawing and you're good at drawing on your winged eyeliner. And then of course there's the standard pencil. I have these eyeliners by Sephora. This one needs sharpening, but this is just a pencil eyeliner. It's very, very creamy and very soft. You won't get thin lines usually with a pencil eyeliner unless you sharpen it to a very fine point. Such as, I have some eyeliners in here that I've never even used. So they're all fairly new. If I can find one. Ah, here's one. So a very sharp tipped one like this will make a much thinner line. As you can see there, it's a bit pale. It's not the best brand. I think it's by Icing Claire's. But those are some different eyeliners. Now I'm going to show you how to do a winged eyeliner with this little diagram. So, going to line as close to your lash line as possible using a pencil, shadow, or gel liner. Oh, that was the other thing. If you're not comfortable using a cream, you can use something like the angled eyeliner brush or something like, oh, this one. Something like this one, which is a flat, I think it's called a flat shader brush, but it's very square and blunt at the tip. You can use something like that to line very close to your lash line, and it makes everything rather uniform, and it makes sure that you don't miss any spots. Anyway, moving on. Next you're going to draw a line. This is the easiest way to do an angled, winged eyeliner. You can draw a line extending towards your eyebrow using your lower lash line as a guideline of what angle to draw it at. I do winged eyeliner pretty much every day unless I'm looking for a subtle look, which is very rare. But it's fairly easy once you get used to it. Sometimes it can be a little hard, but it will always look at least presentable. Next you form a triangle on the outer corner of your eye, like so. And then you just fill in the line and you get this really perfect winged eyeliner. And because I've got such subtle makeup on today, I'm going to show you this. Got something really simple. I don't have a winged eyeliner or anything, so I can show you that. I'm going to use a mirror. They have a winged eyeliner that's very exaggerated. Normally I wouldn't do it that big, but simply for a demonstration. I'm not going anywhere today except work. So I will show you the difference that winged eyeliner makes. As you can see, my eyes look a lot more dramatic. Can look a little bit bigger, and this one's just kind of meh. So there are your eyeliner tips and tricks. I feel as though there isn't much more that I can show you today. I've shown you how to swatch, how to do winged eyeliner, how to do your lips, different eye colours, different eyeshadows, the basic makeup essentials that you'll need, contouring, which if you'd like I could show you how I do my personal contouring. It's really not very difficult at all. I do have some on this cheek, but not quite a lot, so I'll show you on this one. Just take the brown in this and a fan brush, and I just, using my mirror here, just kind of sweep it on from ear to corner of my lips in an angle like that. Go back over. You just sort of feather it out. Give some nice structure to your face. Then I usually go over with a blush right over top of that, right above it that is. And then my highlighter would go somewhere along here. Perfect cheeks. Usually you do your blush and contour and such after your foundation. Let's see, what else could I be missing? Well, while you're here, how about I do a little bit of makeup on you, just something really simple, just to show you some basic examples. I'll use my mirror so that you can see what I'm doing. I can just do some simple eyeshadow on you, nothing facially, and if you're worried about going out in it, maybe it won't turn out so well, if you don't trust me, you can always just take it off with my remover. Is that alright? Okay, good. This is just going to be really quick. I'm just going to start with the primer, if I can find it yet again. It seems to keep getting away from me. There you are. Okay, I'm just going to do a little bit on your eyes. Little blob. And blend that out. Okay, do a bit of a base. Getting into the inner corners there. See how much that brightens your eyes, just that little bit of white. Now if you wanted really bright, wide looking eyes, you could do a lot of light eyeshadow, but if you're taking pictures I wouldn't suggest that. I had a problem with my mother who wore white eyeshadow all the time and it just looked terrible every time she took a picture because the flash illuminated it a lot. Let's see, what colours were you thinking of? Do you want to try anything from the BH palette? Since it's got a nice range of neutrals and colourful. Which side do you want to use? This one? This one? This one? Good, it's my favourite side. I think I'll do something that I did on a friend of mine the other day. It's a nice tropical-y parrot type of thing. Like I said, I really like the bright, fun colours over something drab and boring. So I'm just going to do a little bit of this green here that I swatched on my hand first time on the inner corners of your eyes. Close your eyes for me. On the other side. You don't need a lot of this eyeshadow since it's so pigmented and since we have that nice white base to really bring out the colour in it. Then there's turquoise here. Mostly on the rest of your lid. I'm going to use the opposite end, which is a blending brush. Just blend that all out. The other side. And blend it. Oh, and then I am going to use the colour, the dark blue on this side, just because the dark blue on the side just doesn't do it for me. I'm going to do that in your crease. And this colour I'm definitely going to have to blend out because it gets a little patchy, especially with an eye shape like yours. It's nothing to worry about, it's simply easy to fix. Blend that a little bit. Okay, now believe it or not, you're almost done. See, it doesn't take that long to do makeup. I'm going to take a black from this City Colour palette. I'm just going to line your upper and lower lash line. Because I'm going to do some liquid eyeliner on you. I promise it won't be a big dramatic wing, just to make it really dark. Serious looking. Lower lash line. Some more. I'm going to blend it out a little bit on the lower lash line. Just make it really smoky. Now do you see in the mirror what I've done so far? Does it look alright? Good. Okay. So we're just going to line your upper lash line. Really gentle strokes. Nice and gentle. Don't want to poke you in the eye. The other side. Yes, I am right-handed. If you're left-handed, it might be a little harder for you to do this, from what I'm teaching you. We'll just apply a little mascara. Really quick coat. And you're done. I hope you like it. I'll see you next week when we have another class. Is there any specific time you'd like to schedule? No? Alright, well, you have my number and I have yours. So whenever you'd like to come back for another class, sometime next week would be wonderful. Just call me or I'll call you if I have any availabilities. And hope to see you again soon. I hope you like your makeup. Did you want to take it off? You can decide in the bathroom. Here's a bottle. Oh, and if there's any makeup that you'd like to buy today, or any of the brushes that I've shown you, you can ask Maria in the rec room over there. Thank you. Have a nice night.